Known locally as the Pipeline, the Trans-Alaska Pipeline System is composed of an 800-mile pipeline that conveys oil from Prudhoe Bay south to Valdez. The pipeline, one of the world's largest, is under threat due to the thawing permafrost and flooding because of global warming. Climate change is seriously impacting the integrity of the pipeline, even as the pipeline significantly contributes to climate change. This contradiction is indicative of a wider malaise, where the choices for addressing extreme weather are limited by lifestyles and economies dependent on fossil fuels. Indigenous peoples report that in a warming Arctic, access to subsistence foods is shrinking, and it is becoming more hazardous to hunt and fish. At the same time, thawing permafrost and more frequent and higher storm surges increasingly threaten homes, schools, airports, and utilities. Native forest stands in the Mattole watershed included abundant Douglas fir and redwood trees, but from 1950 to 1970, more than 3/4 of the trees were clear-cut. Trees and understory vegetation hold soil in place, especially on steep slopes, so in their absence, when flood events and the long and strong winter rains come, extensive soil erosion results as huge amounts of hillside begin to slide into the river and its branches. The longer-term result of the silt buildup? Extensive gravel bars that, after growing and joining with each other, make up what is locally called a riparian desert. The result? The natural setting that the Chinook salmon, coho salmon, and steelhead trout require for spawning and for young fish to grow is severely eroded. When the Chena River overflowed its banks in 1967, it flooded large parts of Fairbanks, Alaska, and threatened Fort Wainwright, a large Army base. Completed in 1979, the solution, by the Army Corps of Engineers, was the 7.5-mile-long Moose Creek Dam and the 21-mile-long Tanana River Levee. In its mammoth scale, the design and construction of this dam and levee assumes fortifying barriers to natural processes yields the best results. Can healthy and beautiful communities prosper by integrating watershed-based ecology into common-sense land use, as with green infrastructure? Gold mining in the Alaskan interior employed bucket line dredges as a preferred technology. Bucket line gold dredges are extremely efficient and cost-effective to operate, but they caused irreparable damage to river channels and riparian areas.
When houses were alive. an Inuit legend. One night, a house suddenly rose up from the ground and went floating through the air. It was dark, and it is said that a swishing, rushing noise was heard as it flew through the air. The house had not yet reached the end of its road when the people inside begged it to stop. So the house stopped. They had no blubber when they stopped, so they took soft, freshly drifted snow and put it in their lamps, and it burned. They had come down at a village. A man came to their house and said, "Look, they're burning snow in their lamps. Snow can burn." But the moment these words were uttered, the lamp went out.
Receding glaciers are one of the most direct ways to gauge the warming of the environment and the changing of weather patterns. Sharing many of the same climate change causes, the present retreat of glaciers parallels the mass and accelerating extinction of species now underway as both hardy and sensitive habitats disappear. An alternative can be found in Thomas Berry's articulation of a vibrant Earth community. He writes, "We might begin by recognizing that the Earth community, the community of all living species, including the human, is the greater reality and the greater value." The primary concern of the human community must be the preservation and enhancement of this comprehensive community, even for the sake of its own survival.